Hey Leo, this is your love reading for the 22nd until the 30th. You guys know that this love reading is for anyone who's married in a situationship, a relationship, or a recent separation, and you're trying to gain some clarity. Yeah. So let's hop into things. I've already shuffled the cards, so I'm gonna hop in. All right, so Virgo, many of you guys I'm seeing in the recent past, in the last week, in the last month, that you kind of like grabbed your bags, picked up your things, left a certain situation quickly. I see you charging out of a certain situation. I feel like I'm getting the energy that someone like packed their bags. They were in a rush. They were like, very eager, very anxious to take action towards leaving or doing something. Okay, I feel like if you guys, I sense this fiery energy. Some of you guys could have been angry. It was some anger. I feel like if you guys, without knowing what to do, without having everything in alignment for you to be able to take action, you took action anyway. Like, I gotta go. I gotta get going. Okay. I see you in the past holding back, saving your money, not investing time or energy into this person. I see your intentions being moving forward, not giving into this person, not giving this person any money, not giving any energy to this particular situation, just moving forward in grace. That's the intention. You navigated from a situation. All right, I see you releasing yourself from a toxic dynamic. It consisted of the 7 evils. Okay, so someone was controlling you. Someone, was trying to manipulate you. There was this toxic dynamic where there's greed, lust, control of power, a relationship that was connected, like, maybe just sex. I feel like some of you are dealing with someone that could have been financially abusive. All right. But I definitely see a release from a toxic situation and you deciding, having this clarifying moment where you're going to start putting love and energy into yourself. Okay. Now, for some of you guys, I'm seeing that you separated from a certain someone. And a certain person have tried to come back into the picture. There was a love offer in the past, but for any of you guys, I'm seeing you come into this clarifying moment, this moment of clarity where you're like, you know what? I'm gonna be mentally strong. I am going to invest into myself and just, put love into me. Okay, I'm seeing you guys crying day and night, going through some depression. Okay. Crying about this toxic situation where you had to leave and you have not been prepared to, but you had to. Maybe you guys had to travel to another city, another state, back to the parents' home, back to your hometown, leaving to go stay with family, leaving the situation. You left a particular situation. This is the past. All right, so now I'm seeing you, Leo. I'm seeing you as some of you guys are going through like a physical ailment of some kind. This particular situation have created a lot of anxiety or ignited some physical symptoms. Maybe you guys are going through a financial turmoil. There could be a lack of financial stability going on. I'm seeing some people with children here. There's children involved. All right. But I see you working. You're putting this effort into overcoming this heartbreak from the past. You're trying to overcome this heartache, this pain that you experienced from the past, but there is some difficulty in getting there. You're making progress that has been very difficult. For some of you guys are working towards financial stability, but there's this lack of financial stability. A lot of you guys are dealing with earth signs. So a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn, sun, moon, or rising. Many of you guys are looking at the situation and realizing that you put energy and effort into a particular situation with this earth sign and it just didn't work out. They were not doing what they were supposed to be doing. You were giving, you were investing, you were working hard in the relationship, you were putting effort into this particular situation, but they were not. And you've made this conscious decision that you're gonna overcome this hurt and this pain from the past. But it's been a struggle. And I see you dealing with some hatred. Okay. You having this challenging situation where you're really feeling lost. There was a loss. You're in hermit mode. There could be a lack of communication with family and friends because you're feeling this hate and you're trying to overcome it. And so you're feeling like you don't want to be around people. You don't want to communicate with people. You're upset. You're angry because of this loss. Because it feels like you put so much love, so much effort into this situation just to be possibly betrayed. Okay. For some of you guys, I'm seeing that you had to release yourself from a controlling situation. It could have been a controlling, mentally manipulative situation where there was a lot of mental gymnastics going on. All right. So your person or this person that you separated from or that you're having difficulty with within your relationship where you've had to separate yourself either within the home or physically, they feel like there has that there won't be any reconciliation between the two of you. There's like this lack of moving forward, this delay, a lack of change, not being able to move forward. They don't see the situation getting better. It's almost like they feel like there is no resolution to this particular problem. Maybe you guys are dealing with a fire sign like yourself, or they're looking at you, Leo, and they feel like you've already made a decision. You've already made a decision. Okay. It feels like they're looking at the situation like this situation is not going to change. Now, for some of you, you're dealing with a person that is basically, they're not going to change. They're being stubborn. And they've made the decision that they are, and they've been open about it. They intend on being open about it this week, where they're letting it be known that they're moving forward, they're moving on, and that they're moving away. Okay. So if this person, and I feel like there could be some manipulation going on here, it's like you've made a conscious decision to leave the situation and they're just like, okay, fine, well, cool. I'm not going to invest any energy into the situation either. Excuse me, that's daughter in the background. And so they're like, no, they're pretty much like, well, no, I'm done too. I'm done just like you done. That's the game that they're going to be playing. So it feels like this person in the past was not speaking, not talking. There was a lack of communication between the two of you guys. And I feel like with you, Leo, that energy is going to ride into this week. But with this week, your partner or this person that you separated from, they are going to be coming out in the open and expressing that they've come to a decision that they're going to leave, that they're going to walk away, and that they feel like this situation isn't going to work, and that, there is no resolve, there's no resolution to this particular situation. Okay. I'm seeing in the future, I'm seeing that there's a lack of clarity still. I feel like there is definitely some confusion about moving things forward. I feel like for many of you, there is some anger, and there's that feeling of loss. I'm seeing like right around the 30th, the 31st, beginning of June, that someone is kind of releasing a certain situation to a certain degree, even though they didn't get clarity. There's like a lack of clarity about the situation. There may be some confusion about what took place, like the entire dynamic of the situation, what brought this situation to a head, the last straw. I'm seeing you or this other person, because it could be you or this other person, but they feel like they put a lot of energy and effort towards something just for it not to work out. It's like the love and the loyalty is no longer there, and things are not moving forward. It could be you and this other person, but they don't want to move it forward anymore. All right. There's a lack of love. it feels like this whole situation was just completely unfair, where someone should have apologized and made things right. They didn't do it. And so I'm seeing an ending, and I feel like there's ill emotions. I'm seeing jealousy and envy towards you. Okay. So there's this jealousy and there's this envy towards you. But I'm definitely seeing an ending for some of you guys, like a breakup for sure. All right, so let me grab clarifying love cards. Let's see here. All right, so one of the cards says shadowed waters, beware of illusions that skim the surface, for true understanding lies in the deep waters. So somebody is not like, how is, like I've stated this before, how is water shadowed? There's some truths that are not being told. There's a lack of justice. There's a lack of honesty. And definitely there are illusions, things that secrets is what I'm seeing here. It says unlock the gate, explore the unknown, and walk new paths. Okay. Walk new paths. All right. So let me go ahead and grab my other deck. Let's see here. Spiritual guidance for Leo, please. Provide Leos with spiritual guidance, spirit, about this situationship. Or this relationship that ended. All right. So the two cards that we have here is the first one is Virgo and the second one is Mars. Bear with me while I find your card. Let's see here. All right, so the first card, the keywords for this particular card is integrity, reverence, humility. Experiences going inward, attention to details, rituals, being of service, and the shadow is overly perfectionist, self-critical, and possibly high standards. Okay. Omen. In mythology, virgin energy means whole and complete. And similarly, Virgo, the virgin goddess asks you to strip away the not you layers that clog your vessel. Be unhealthy habits, toxic relationships, or damaging thought patterns. This cleansing force comes to guide your body, mind, and spirit back to its natural state of grace. This humble energy knows the most profound way to create change is through small, consistent actions. So what are your daily embodied rituals? Are they in support of your higher self and ultimate purpose? Service your life so you be of service to self, spirit, and others. So that's your energy, the Virgo energy. That's that's your spiritual guidance. And spirit saying that that's your energy right now. Okay. And spirit is urging you to let go of unhealthy habits and toxic relationships or damaging thought patterns. Okay. All right. So your second card is Mars. So bear with me while I find that particular card. Let's see. Okay. Mars. The keywords for this card is determination, will, courage, personal survival, experiences, how you actualize your desires, how you get what you want, and self-defense. The Omen, harness your inner soldier and accomplish something today. Chip away at a small nagging item on your to-do list or begin a longer project. Perhaps you've been swimming with ideas and inspiration, not knowing where to begin. Streamline your attention and take one assertive step towards your dream reality. This energy also come as a sign to slow down and reevaluate what it is you're working towards. Have you been soldiering on unclear of what it is you're fighting for. With tunnel vision, your goal may be a mirage after all. What are your true desires? You have divine support in bringing them to life, but the power is yours to begin. All right, I'm going to go ahead and draw one more spiritual guidance card for my Leos. Let's see here. I'm going to use Black Moon Lilith Cosmic Alchemy Oracle deck. One of the favorites. All right, spiritual guidance for Leos. All right, the card that you have is Dissolution, Emotional Clearing. All right, let me find this card. Let's see here. That's Dissolution. Hey, let's see here. All right. After the ego has burned to ashes, you are left with raw, real, and challenging emotions around what has occurred. This is like the feeling you have after your heart has been shattered into pieces by needing to say goodbye to someone who isn't healthy in your life, or the feeling of fear around money and taking care of yourself after you've left that cushy yet miserable job in favor of pursuing your passion. The universe is requiring you to sit with the angst and unpredictability when you pull this card in the reading. Processing, purging, and working with your emotions is extremely important during the alchemical journey. When the dissolution card shows up in an oracle reading, it's signaling a time for you to cleanse and wash away emotions that have prevented you from shining your light in the world. Your frequency and vibration, consisting of thoughts and feelings, emanate from your physical body and create the world around you. When we release limiting emotions like fear, self-doubt, and unworthiness, our magnetism and vibratory manifestation power increase. This is the second phase in alchemy involving the element water and associated with Jupiter, the planet of spiritual growth. In this stage, there is an emotional cleansing of limitations, trauma, outdated patterns, and belief systems. This step cleanses away the ashes that were created from calcination. While this can feel uncomfortable, it is necessary for you to pull back the societal mask and reveal your true self. Dissolution phase shadow work. Draw yourself a purifying bath with sea salt crystals of your choice. Allow yourself to soak and meditate on this part of your inner transformation. You are cleansing your unconscious mind. Sink into the deep waters of your soul to find the answers, Leo. All right, I definitely feel like that resonates with your reading, Leo. Big time. All right, so I will see you guys next week. You guys stay well, stay blessed. I hope that these messages help to guide you in the correct direction. Namaste.